Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam. We were looking at, we already looked at 32nd verse. Pramata cha pramanam cha prameyam pramitis tatha tasya bhasa va bhaseta manam jnanaya tasya kim. And the knower, the means of knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knowledge of the object, the understanding of the object, all are illumined by the same consciousness that I am, which is the witnessing consciousness, the self. To know the self, this illuminating self, what is the need for any other means of knowledge? We want continuously to know something because of something. I know God because He fulfilled my wishes. ऐसी होता है ना? If He didn't fulfill my wishes, then I'll change my God. So we are all caught up in cause and effect. If my desires are fulfilled, my wishes are fulfilled, then He is a very powerful God. If the other fellow doesn't do it, then I think कुछ खास नहीं है, दम नहीं है. But here we are not into cause and effect. We are not into objective realization of the self. We are into subjective. And what is this subject? Subject is one without a second. And what will be the realization? Realization will be the Paramatma, the God, the Jiva, and the Srishti, the universe, Jagat. Jeev, Jagat, Ishwar, and Paramatma, the Brahman, are all one. Just like individual, the wave, the world, all the waves in the ocean, one wave plus all the waves, the Jagat, ocean, the Bhagwan, the Lord, and water, the infinite truth, are all nothing but that one truth, isn't it? Exactly the same way, this transformation in vision must come about. If this transformation has not come about, keep getting recycled from one life to another life. Continuing in our next verse, 33rd verse. Arthakara bhavet vrittihi.
Arthakara bhavet vrittihi.
Arthakara bhavet vrittihi.
Arthakara bhavet vrittihi.
Falenartha prakashate.
Falenartha prakashate.
Falenartha prakashate.
Falenartha prakashate.
Arthajnanam vijanati.
Arthajnanam vijanati.
Arthajnanam vijanati.
Arthajnanam vijanati.
Sa evartha parasmrutaha.
Sa evartha parasmrutaha.
Sa evartha parasmrutaha.
Sa evartha parasmrutaha.
The thought takes, this is now how your mind works. So first is, the thought is a combination of pramata, pramanam, prameya and pramiti. So the knower of the object, the knower of the object, the medium of the object of knowledge, and the knowledge of the object is pramiti. So this is how a thought is appears in your mind. And now here it is said, the thought takes the form of the object of cognition. So what is the object of cognition? This phone is the object of cognition. So the moment I say phone, the phone has become a thought. The word phone is a thought in my mind. The object is outside. This is the difference. In waking state, the object is outside your mind and senses, but the thought is in your mind. In dream, the object is also in your mind and the thought is also in your mind. Think about it. In deep sleep, both are absent. So what is the sattvic state? Where sattvic state means everything is slowed down, therefore the object and the object of the object of knowledge and the knowledge of object are separate. One is outside, one is inside. Knowledge is inside, object is outside. In the dream, both are inside. So here it is told, the thought takes the form of the object of cognition, and jiva, the ego, comes to know the object. So ego comes to know the object, not the Paramatma, not the self, not the consciousness. Because consciousness, the self by nature is witnessing, unattached. It is one without a second. So it cannot come to know the object. The water cannot come to know the wave. From water's point of view, there is no wave. There is only water. So who is this? This is the I we are talking about. It comes to know the object. And remember, we told you in the previous verses that the object is the diet for the I. More the objects, fatter is the I. Lesser the objects, lesser is the I. No object, no I. Then what is left? Only you are left. The one illuminating the object, the thought, and the ego is described as supreme self by the wise. So a thought cannot be formed without the I. Subject plus object plus instrument of knowledge is a thought. Who knows that the thought has come and gone? Someone is there, no? So many thoughts are coming to you right now. Someone knows that these thoughts have come. That is the real self. Not the one who says, oh, I heard, I understood, I am seeing, I am understanding. That is the ego. The one who is witnessing these thoughts coming and going is the true self. Here follows a very methodical explanation of how knowledge exists. Mind or thought takes shape of the thought of object. This is called vritti vyapti. This is like reflection in the mirror. Vritti vyapti means the thought precipitation takes place in the mind. Thought precipitation. This is happening. Continuously it is happening. So mind or thought takes shape of the thought of object. That is called vritti vyapti. This is the reflection. This is like reflection in the mirror. You stand in front of the mirror, you cannot stop but have a reflection. Did you create it? No. It is happening. So mind is there, mind is the mirror. Continuously the objects of the world, seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, memory, future thoughts, they are coming, and the image is coming in the mind. And the mind grabs, envelops that particular object and gives it takes the form of, the mind takes the form of that particular object or that thought. Mind cannot stay in formless state. Mind, if it stays, you're all experts now. If mind becomes thoughtless, what happens? Either it is called death, either it is called sleep, either it is called coma, or it is called samadhi. And the best one, you are realized. So mind by nature has got two aspects. One is it manifests and it becomes unmanifest. Of what? Of thoughts. That is its nature. That is its flux. Involvement, withdrawal. Involvement, withdrawal. Involvement, withdrawal. It cannot stay for too long. You cannot stay asleep for too long. You will wake up and start thinking about the world. Mind cannot stay in formless state. Therefore, when mind drops all shapes, it disappears. So when mind just like if there is, we were saying, no, vritti vyapti means what? Something coming in front of the mirror and the image coming. Now there is no object coming in front of the mirror of the mind. So no vritti vyapti possible, no thought possible. Vritti means thought. Vyapti means conclusion. Appearance, sorry. So there is no image formation on the mirror of the mind. So what will mind do? If it has got no job, his job is to present the image. If there is no image coming which it can reflect, what will mind do? Mind will go back to its source. What is the source of the mind? Infinite consciousness. Good. Infinite consciousness with vritti vyapti is called mind. Means with thoughts is called mind. Mind without thoughts is infinite consciousness. Understand this. And catch yourself every moment of your existence. that you are that one. Phala Vyapti is when I is born as a knower, I know. Vritti Vyapti and Phala Vyapti, these two components complete the knowledge. So what is Phala Vyapti? Phala you understand already. Phala means result. So what is the result? If this camera was there and my eyes are open, it sees the camera. So many cameras are there. No Vritti, well, we'll see. Actually, what is happening? You see the cameras, I see the camera, I see the cup, I see the bottle, I see the book, I see the flask, I see the people, I see the pictures. For majority of the things, only vritti vyapti, only the image is being formed and then it is going away. But when it comes to this camera, immediately it is my camera. Isn't it? I own this camera. Immediately now what is happening? Phala Vyapti is taking place. The I is coming up. Realization is living only as Vritti Vyapti. Let images come and reflect, but no I is born. Individuality is born when that Vritti Vyapti, Vritti, that thought is owned by someone. That object which is getting reflected is owned by someone. So who is the realized person? Who is seeing the world without becoming a seer? Who is hearing the world without becoming the hearer? Who is experiencing the world without becoming an experiencer? Knowing the world without becoming a knower. Because all these this is the error. This error is the I thought, which owns. Now, if this is the technology of the mind, now you apply it on yourself. See how you have to function in your daily life. Rather than precipitate, means phala vyapti, rather than precipitate into a knowledge, remain the infinite one, accepting everything, rejecting nothing, but accepting everything, rejecting nothing, accepting all thoughts, rejecting no thought. Also, third one, retaining no thoughts. Because the moment I is born, it becomes a memory. See, this is the technology. Accept everything. Eyes, look at your eyes. They are accepting every color and form. They are not rejecting any color and form. Is the vision attached to any form and color? Eyes are realized. The mind, accepting all the thoughts, rejecting no thoughts. Is the mind attached to any thought? No, because by nature, mind is continuously throwing away. Every thought comes, it goes away. Mind is also realized. Consciousness, which is expressing through this body, is it attached to this body? Cannot. Spirit and matter cannot come together. But this unholy union is seen. This is unholy union. This is the sin. If you want to talk about sin. Then who is this idiot who is attached?
Ego.
Correct. And what is ego? Which does not exist. Now you see how simple in 4 lines we have told you. And now either you complicate your life or you simplify your life. That's all. This religion will not tell you. This puja archa will not tell you. This japa will not tell you. But all that is required so that you become focused, so that you become single-pointed, so that you become empty as a result of purification, so that this knowledge which is being presented here, it gels effortlessly into your mind, if you are available. Availability, to be available, it is an instantaneous thing. But because we don't want to be available, because we want to remain in cause and effect, therefore, I have to do my dharma. What was given before? Dharma, karma, upasana is the journey of the ignorant ones. The wise one remains ever in the present moment. Like this. Let phala vritti vyapti take place. Let no phala vyapti precipitate. Precipitation of phala vyapti happens because the I comes up and owns the knowledge. I know this is Gita, I know this is camera, I know this is Mayur, I know this is table. The moment I comes, as the objects of knowledge are different, as the knowledge is different, so also the knower of the knowledge with every thought is different. A different knower is born. So when I see this camera, I know this camera. I know this table. I know Gita. I know the cup. I know each person here. So when my attention goes to the camera, I know the camera. Next thought, I know the table. Is the I which was with the camera, is it the same I which is with the table? No. This is where refinement is required. So every thought is coming and going. Every thought is a composition of subject, object, and instrument of knowledge. I know the camera, I am the subject, camera is the object, mind is the instrument of knowledge. Then I know the table. Again, I was born with the object, the table, and the instrument of understanding or vision was brought about. I heard what you said. So again, I was born. The object was the word that you said, and the instrument was the ears. So with every one of this, a new I is popping up. The one who feels that this I is a continuous I that I am is the idiot, which is you and me. That is the ego. So with every thought, the I is born. With every thought, the I dies. This is the reality of your mind. Understand. I gave one example many classes ago in this trip. You take one sparkler and you move it around. The sparkler can remain at one spot while you are turning it around at one moment, isn't it? But you see an illusion of continuity, isn't it? So that illusion of continuity of light, you see a circle of light because the sparkler is going fast. If I slow down the sparkler, will you see the circle of light? If I slow down the movement of the sparkler, will you see the circle of light? No. Exactly the same thing. When your mind is moving fast with every one object, seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, and owning it, Phala-Vyapti is taking place, the illusion of continuity of I is precipitated. That is the ego. So what is meditation? What is spirituality? Slowing down this. What do? Vaikari madhyama pashyanti para. You're slowing down the frequency of thoughts. As you slow down the frequency of thoughts, one day it will dawn to you that this I is not a continuous one. It is coming with every mantra and it is going away with every mantra. Or here the technology that is being explained, with every thought the I is born, with every thought the I dies. But I am thinking that I am continuously there. Catch this about yourself. You don't have to catch, you have to just accept that this is how the mind functions. See? So there is no I, continuous I. The continuous I is the one who's watching, in whose presence these thoughts are coming and going. Subject, object, instrument of knowledge. One thought, then next thought, then next thought, then next thought. They are coming and going. Therefore, spiritual practice is to remain in utter presence, remain the presence of all thoughts that are coming and going. Don't identify with any object. Don't identify with any memory, which is also a thought. Don't identify with any imagination, which is also a thought. Don't identify with any nears and dear ones, they are also a thought. Don't identify with the creation, which is also a thought. Then what do? Let everything appear. It will come, it will stay for some time, it will go away. You remain only the witness. The Supreme Self is the one who knows the thought as well as the ego, the knower of the thought. So now, this is now even further refinement. That you are observing, you have come to this cognition, you have come to this subtle understanding about yourself, that, yeah, I'm not able to catch it, I'm not able to catch myself, because I'm thinking objectively, but every object is coming and going. With that, every I thought is coming and going, and I'm understanding this continuous appearance of I with every object is giving rise to some personality, to that individuality, to that ego, which is also known by me. Just like I know every day the waker comes and goes, the dreamer comes and goes, the sleeper comes and goes, the meditator comes and goes, the seer, hearer, toucher, taster, feeler, all of them are coming and going right now also. Wherever there is an ER at the end, understand it is the ego. The I has precipitated. When you are in front of Kailash ji, that time what happened?
Nothing.
No thought. Whether you, even if you want to think, no thought is coming. Only tears are coming.
Yes.
Tears of joy. Isn't it? You want to say, you have planned before, I'm going to say this mantra, I'm going to say that mantra, I'm going to see this stuti or that stuti. But at that time, you see the Kailash, you are right in front of him and you hold the Kailash and nothing comes in your mind.
Correct.
Even the compass doesn't work. Your mental compass doesn't work. Your thought compass is gone. Your thought compass is gone. Imagine living like that 24/7, 365 days a year. How wonderful and freeing it will be. With nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to achieve, nothing to regret. Life is just unfolding and you are watching. This is how the Mahatmas live. This is how the Mahatmas live. So, with that thought, vritti vyaptyavamevastu, vritti vyapyatvamevastu, phala vyapte katham bhavet, phala vyapti katham bhavet, स्वप्रकाश स्वरूपत्वात्, स्वप्रकाश स्वरूपत्वात्, सिद्धत्वाच्च चिदात्मनः, सिद्धत्वाच्च चिदात्मनः. The pure consciousness, with the pure conscious self being self-illumined and self-determined, there can be only vritti vyapti. Vritti vyapti means the reflection is happening. That's all. The phala vyapti cannot exist. Does the mirror, in the mirror, does a phala vyapti take place? Mirror is sitting there, someone comes in front of it, it reflects. It doesn't say, oh, this person is so beautiful, I don't want some ugly Swami to come in front of the picture. No, I want to hold on to this beautiful person who has come. Mirror doesn't say, Acha, aaya hai. No reaction. It just stays continuously the same way. Then first beautiful person, then ugly person, then angry person, then smiling person, then whatever. Then inert object, then conscious person, then a dog, then a bird. See? Then who gets hurt? Who takes the image to be real? Those who spend 2 hours in front of the mirror. Fixing their hair, fixing their mustache, fixing their dadi. You see sometimes these birds, the magpies, they come, they look at themselves in the mirror and they think there is some competition there. And they will peck, and they start bleeding at their beak, where the beak touches the skin. And yet they keep pecking, thinking that there is some competition. That's what we are doing with each other. Because we have taken the reflection to be real. The reflection is not the reality. So, can you fix the reflection? Because it doesn't exist. So who is this father, mother, daughter, sister, hearer, toucher, feeler, thinker, waker, dreamer, sleeper, meditator, these are all reflections. And you are trying to fix the reflection. And you will never succeed, as much as you may try. And that bleeding of that bird is the grief, the sorrows, the challenges, the obstacles that we are experiencing in our life. Because we are trying to fix that which does not exist. Think. Socho zara. And that's why this bleeding, that's why the tiredness, that's why the exhaustion. In the name of what? Dharma, karma, upasana, realization. Except you are realized right here and now at this very moment. Allow the vritti vyapti, allow the thoughts to appear, because that's the nature of the mind. Do you say, no, I want the day to be longer, I want the night to be shorter or longer? You cannot change anything. I want the rainbow, it is so beautiful. By the time you finish the thought, the rainbow is gone. Isn't it? So nothing in this world you can hold. But we want to hold on the body, we want to hold all those things which are attached to, we want to hold on to our memories. You cannot. With continuous contemplation on the Mahavakya, Tattvamasi, the ego dissolves as consciousness is self-illumined and self-determined. Self-consciousness is self-illumined. Self-illumined means there is no medium of thought by which you can come to know the consciousness, because in the presence of consciousness, thoughts come and go. It is not the conscious is there because I thought that the consciousness is there. No. I am as the consciousness, therefore the thought that I am the consciousness is coming and going away. This slight shift happens by grace. It will not happen by your thinking. But we have to keep at it. Second, therefore, knowing the self is being the self. When you come to realize that, hey man, I exist. And I don't need a thought to exist. Immediate, that is realization. You abide in the self at that very moment. And that is happening every moment. You have to just become aware of that. You have to just discover this truth about yourself. Not live at the mercy of thoughts, but be the conscious self in whose presence the thoughts are coming and going. Self is both existence and knowledge. It is both Sat and Chit. Sat means existence. Camera exists, this exists, table exists, chair exists, everything in this universe exists. I also exist. Question is, I accept myself that I exist as the body, as the subtle body, as the causal body, as the I with reference to every object, or I accept myself, I exist without reference. That referenceless existence is when I come to that principle, that what is that which is lending its existence to everything? Every thought exists because I am. If thought doesn't exist because it is, it can exist by itself, it cannot. A dead man doesn't have any thought. Only a living person has a thought. So what is that which is difference between a dead man and a living man? What is that principle which is missing? That is dharma, true dharma. See? So come to this realization. Where are we? 34, no? Self is both existence as knowledge. So when we, on the seat of satsang with a cup of Bornvita, sit there oblivious to Swami saying, don't drink coffee in the satsang or Bornvita in the satsang. Why? Only vritti vyapti is taking place. Phala vyapti is not taking place. Let Swamiji speak whatever he is speaking. I am not owning it. You are with yourself. There should be if there was no reaction in his mind when I said that, and if there was no reaction in your mind, what is wrong if he is drinking a tea or coffee? You reacted. Your mind reacted. If his mind reacted, well, what is wrong? I just went through such a hard journey and my throat is not well and I need something warm inside. What is wrong? Your mind is reacting. What is that which is reacting? The I is reacting. Because I gave credence to the thoughts of the Swami and started comparing that, this is my condition, why can't he understand, blah, 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 blah. Plot is lost. What was the plot? Remaining the witness. No reaction. But what is the joy of life? Then do the drama. You pick up a fight with me without getting disturbed. Without getting disturbed. Argue. How many times I have scolded you in this trip? But I don't feel anything. See? So, vritti vyapti, so that is the point here. I already told it, I said. Now the next one, रुमाल है कि नहीं है? हाँ, है स्पेयर, देना एक मिनट.
मेरे पास है, ये लीजिए, बस.
So, अर्थादर्थे यथा वृत्तिः
अर्थादर्थे यथा वृत्तिः
अर्थादर्थे यथा वृत्तिः
अर्थादर्थे यथा वृत्तिः
गन्तुं चलति नान्तरे
गन्तुं चलति नान्तरे
गन्तुं चलति नान्तरे
गन्तुं चलति नान्तरे
अनाधारा निर्विकारा
अनाधारा निर्विकारा
अनाधारा निर्विकारा
अनाधारा निर्विकारा
सादशासोन्मनी स्मृता सादशासोन्मनी स्मृता. As there are modifications in the thoughts when they pass from object to object, such modifications are absent in the absence of the object. This is clear? Only if outside objects are available or in your mind from memory the objects are available, then only a thought can appear, otherwise it will not. In dream also there are thoughts and in waking also there are thoughts. But when there is no object to precipitate as a thought, that is called empty mind, isn't it? And normally in that empty mind we go to sleep. Whenever that is achieved, we go to sleep. So here there are absent in the absence of the object. The mind is empty. This state of thought is called anadhara and nirvikara. Akara means form. Anakara without, no form. Or nirvikara without form. So there is no thought precipitation happening. So neither there is vritti vyapti taking place, phala vyapti is not taking place anyway. That is why you have come, because there was no phala vyapti, meaning there was no ownership of any thought, it led to, so what was, now go through the Ashtanga Yoga. What is Savikalpa Samadhi? Remember I told you the Savikalpa Samadhi is of two types, with the form and with the sound. So with adhara is niradhara, adhara is support. So with support, first the support was form, drishyanu with savikalpa samadhi, savikalpa means with the thought, and then shabdanu with savikalpa samadhi. So what was the support there? The sound. Now we are coming to nirakara or niradhara. So there is no support and therefore there is no nirakara or nirvikalpa. Nirvikalpa is without thought. So we have come to that point. It will not happen because you wish. It will not happen if you wish. You have to follow the technology. This is the technology of the mind. Until unless you don't understand this, whether you have studied scriptures or whether you are chanting Om, and by the grace of the God, that you start understanding this about yourself, this, as the mind slows down, as the thought frequency slows down, this knowledge which we are telling through words, it automatically starts appearing. This knowledge automatically starts appearing. But we have to slow down our thoughts. And our attention must not be on the thoughts, our attention must be on what is the constant principle. What is that which is constant in spite of the thoughts? What is that in whose presence these thoughts are coming and going? If our attention is on that, and our practice is to reduce the frequency of thoughts, this knowledge which we are telling in so many words, it will naturally sprout in your mind. Sprout. Naturally the nirvikalpa samadhi will happen instead of going to sleep, because you are seeking, because your attention is not on waking, dream, sleep. Your attention is what is that which is the constant in spite of all these. See? Where are we? 35th verse, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this state of thought is called anadhara and nirvikara. It is also known as the unmani state, the unmani avastha. Unmani avastha is you are present in this world yet not of this world. Everything is perceived, everything is, the thoughts are coming and going, but there is no owner. And that will lead to this unmani avastha. Not every person can get into this unmani avastha. When unmani avastha happens or appears in a person, then he is good for nothing in this world. He forgets, because mind is not functioning. When mind is not functioning, such people call them mad, lunatic. They cannot live in the normal as a normal person like you and me. Why? Here the I is functioning, so we call it normal. Actually, they are normal. See? So what does the society do? Such normal people, they make them abnormal and put them into the lunatic asylums. And we think we are the wise ones. The originals of Australia are called aboriginals. And the aboriginals call themselves originals. See? Wherever conquest has happened, this is how it is. We have taken the aboriginal. We have taken the self is the original, but we have given it disregard. And we have taken that which does not exist, the ego, as the real one. This is where everything is going on. In society, in here, everywhere. Continuing, this verse tells us how to go beyond thought. Thoughts are constantly moving from one object to other and so on. But between two objects, thought has no adhara of object, therefore it is nirvikara, that is, no modification. So between two thoughts, if there is no adhar of an object, if there is no support of an object, what is there between two objects? In between the two thoughts, I know this is a table and I know this is Gita. There was a gap. So what is that gap? There is no support, there is nothing. But yet I am. So I am technically, I am in nirvikalpa samadhi between two thoughts. I am in nirvikalpa samadhi between two breaths. So thousands of times we are going into nirvikalpa samadhi and coming out of nirvikalpa samadhi. And we want to do a special show of sitting in meditation and going into nirvikalpa samadhi. Drop it. Because wherever there is you want to do a specific sadhana for a specific result, you are getting caught up. That specific sadhana, initially it is required, but it must lead to constant awareness of this presence that I am. So rather than morning, afternoon, evening doing Sandhya Vandanam, catch the Sandhi between two thoughts. Why only 3 times a day? And that also focused only on the object outside. Pour water, light fire, pray, do the arghya to the sun. The sun is inside, the conscious, Satchidanand Swarup, not the outside. That outside was only to make your mind focused. That outside puja was only to make yourself purified. That japa and sadhana was only to make your mind single pointed. But only for what purpose? So that you reduce the frequency of thoughts. So that this sun inside reveals itself. So that we become aware of this presence between two thoughts. Because as the thoughts, this was our meditation, be the awareness with reference to the mind, the third meditation. So as the mantra is slowing down the gap between the two thoughts, which is there even right now, but I'm speaking so fast because I want to cover the topic. But when we are in meditation, even today, after Om Hamsa Shiva Soham, the mind slows down. And you are in that gap. Remain in that gap without going to sleep, with full awareness. Catch this, you can catch this anywhere, anytime, except behind the wheel, steering wheel. Thoughts are constant. Ye kar liya. Therefore, it is nirvikara, that is no modification between two thoughts. This is so. Question is: are you focused on the thoughts as your life is unfolding, or is your attention on the gap between the two thoughts as life is unfolding? So, for so many years, you have practiced thinking about the thoughts, collecting the thoughts as memories. Why not change the game for some time? I lived for so many years thinking about the thoughts. Let me now be constantly remind myself of the gap between the two thoughts. Change the game. It's going on. Choice is yours to think of the thought or think of between the thoughts. Koshish karo, give it a go and see what happens. If one can remain in that niradhara and nirvikara state, this is called unmani avastha, where one's full attention is only on the self, without going to sleep. Natural tendency will be to go to sleep. So that stamina has to be built up. That stamina gets built up. That stamina, your capacity to stay in that gap builds up, directly proportional to your faith that it is so. Directly proportional to the mumukshutvam, intense desire to liberate, and recognition that this is the state of liberation between the two thoughts. Accepting it. Now, how can it be between the two? It is that easy. Yes, it is that easy. It is that simple. Karma, upasana, jnana make it complicated. It is that simple because it is your natural state. Nothing needs to be done. When you want to do something, then that doing is called as karma, upasana and jnana. Unmani dasha is rising above the mind, remaining, exposing yourself to that silence consciously is rising above the mind. So expose your mind. So regular meditation, initially it is required. While you are moving around in the daily life, go through everything, but don't allow any memory to precipitate. Memory will precipitate if I is born with reference to the object. If your attention is on the consciousness, I cannot be born. Thoughts will come, thoughts will go. Objects will come, objects will go. Experience will come, experience will go. Knowledge will come, knowledge will go. Waker will come, waking will come, waking will go. Dreaming will come, dreaming will go. Meditation will come, meditation will go. But you don't remain disturbed. Let nature continue the way it is continuing. It is wanting to undo itself. The nature or the Shakti, her only purpose of manifesting itself into this beautiful myriad creation is only to go back to its source, isn't it? This is happening in your mind also. When you wake up today, the whole world opened up. Tonight, what will happen? The whole world will collapse back into the source. This is happening at the totality level also. Watch the game. Once you watch the game without getting identified with the game, this is called Leela. Then it will be Nagaraj Leela. Then it will be, people will say, you will not say. Then Gita Leela, Nilima Leela. When your attention is on the consciousness, is the conscious Leela going on. This is living in realization every moment. Don't make it a special event of your life. It is your natural state. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om. See, these thoughts are happening at the feet of Lord Kailash. Don't take it into as a coincidence and just brush it away. Catch yourself. Be yourself.